Like and subscribe. Sensa Reality Show. This is just the beginning for Shador Sanders. Congratulations for Shador Sanders winning. But for receiving the $4.6 million contract, playing for the Cleveland Browns. Shador Sanders being the 144th pick, it was something that we've never seen nothing like this, happen before an NFL draft. With the things with what was going on and the lame activity, with the whole prank call. Shador is only going to receive this, and this is only going to build him to be as great as he can become as an athlete, a player, a person, all in general. It's just fuel. And I don't want to say, something that's more cliche, but really is just fuel to the fire that's going to be applied, along with the pressure that he's going to dish out. This is something that I feel like can really going to make Shador not only, have a chip on his shoulder, but really it's not going to stop. Like once he get the, dominating and just being the best version of himself that he can be every time that he get on that field, it's just something that I feel honestly that they really just brought on to themselves. I love how the way Dion is highlighting everything, with his sons, with Shiloh as well, on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Shiloh I feel like has a promising future in the NFL. At first, I wasn't so sure, but I know that I see that the work that Shiloh is putting in. I see that he's taking it serious, and I feel like he's growing into, an NFL player before our eyes. But Shador Sanders, with him having the number 12, I thought he was going to have number 2, but he wanted, I feel, number 2. But 12 was the only number that was, available for the quarterback position. But this right here, I love the fact that he does have number 12, because I feel like with everything that Shador is going to bring, with just like, I feel like just that dog that I know that Shador got in him. For the world, like when the world get a chance to see that on the NFL pro level, with him having the number 12, I feel like that's really going to make Shador even want to ball even more harder, because he got the number 12 just to, I don't want to say take shots at Brady, but just to let him know, like, you had the opportunity, but you dropped the ball. You showed me your hand, and now I see how you rocking. It's cool. I'm going to make sure I ball every chance you get, just to rub it in your face with me having the number 12. Every time you see me, you're going to know what time it is. Every time you go against the Raiders, you're going to know what time it is, because you're going to see that 12 on my back. And by me wearing this 12, it's going to remind you even more that you had the opportunity in the front office to make me a Raider. But what you decided to do was do what was best for Tom Brady. What you thought or feel that's best for Tom Brady. But really, it was just all selfishness. And people been on to say that Tom Brady made this move because he wanted to have a legacy for his son as a Raiders quarterback or being on. And I'm like, ain't his son like what, 13, 14? You know how long ago that within that range? And Shador's like what, 22, 23? But anyway, excuses. That's what they're gonna give when they don't want to admit the honest truth, and that's that Tom Brady was never gonna, have Shador in a position where he could be a Raider. We've thought that, but as you already see, with the politics and everything coming to play, I don't even want to say they told Tom, because I feel like I'm saying it. I feel like I'm giving them too much of a leeway, to say that, hey, they told him not to do it, so he had to do what they told him to do. That may have been the case, but at the same time, he still had to say so if he really felt strongly about what Shador could become, what he will become. And that's like one of the greatest quarterbacks that we've seen in a long time since Cam Newton. And how could this not? If you ask yourself, how could this not motivate anybody that they want to count out so bad because of who his dad is? That they want to count out so bad because they feel like he probably don't need NFL, and with all the jewelry that he has and things of that sort, like he don't really need NFL. I mean, what is he doing here? Because he's Deion's son? So it's like people got so many things to say, but what they fail to realize is that with Shador's mindset, how strong his mindset is, you ain't doing nothing but just gonna make him even want to go even more harder. And he gonna do it with a smile on his face. Because he's calm, collected, and he's a sniper when it comes down to, throwing that football. And not just the sniper with how he throws it, but just the accuracy, and on top of that, receivers gonna catch it. So I mean, it ain't all about just the power all the time. It's about the brains of the quarterback. The knowledge of the game itself, and it just being so effortless. Because they wanted to always put the black person as the running back or the tight end or anything but the quarterback position. That was never a spot for us. And when they saw how smart we were, and to be able to remember the plays and be able to maintain and being a quarterback, they didn't like that. And more of us came, and because they thinking that all black people, you just good for just being athletic. We ain't got no brain span and being a quarterback on top of that. Well, but then we proved them wrong so many times. So with Shador having the high IQ he has at the quarterback position, and being calm under pressure, because I feel like that molded him from him being at Colorado, and I'm happy that he kind of did have what he, the less protection that he did have, now that I think about it, because it builds character and it builds strength mentally and as far as playing wise, physically. It builds strength in those avenues because you know what to expect if you have to expect it when you don't have an O-line. You know how to be able to navigate and regroup and, be able to handle yourself under any type of difficult circumstance on the field, because you've been through that before. Even though it's at another level, but still, you've been through that phase. So this is not going to be nothing new. Cam Ward hasn't been through that. Cam Ward he had an offensive line already set. Offensive line, wide receivers, he had everything stacked out and decked for him. Not saying he's not going to be outstanding, because Cam Ward will be outstanding. But Shador faced more hardship. He faced more struggle. And I feel like that's what's going to make him better, because he's been through a lot more earlier as far as a football player. And then outside off the field, on top of that, that's only going to make somebody that much more dangerous on the field. And then being 144th, so you gotta think about all that stuff and put it all together. It's gonna bring the true character out of a person, especially when he got a strong-minded father who always been there in his life. So I can't wait to see what Shador displays. Again, congratulations to him for receiving the $4.6 million. That's a lot coming from being 144th pick. So let's not just focus on the numbers. Think about how far and then the 5th round of when he was selected, and again the 144th pick, and still being able to receive that's a blessing, and that's great. Because what he really supposed to have was about a 24 mil if he would have been picked in the first draft, in the first round, at like a number 3 or 4 seed. But man, I'm finna get ready to get up out of here. Shout out to Shador. This is just the beginning of calm before the storm. All perfect time. Stay tuned. Sensa Reality Show. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. I'll let y'all later. One love. Peace.